was that blood?
Beleza, o que você quer agora? Ai,
Damn it all to the hells. We left Joaquin's Rest to burn, and Grand Duke Ravengard to burn along with it. Shit. Shit. Shit.
Infernos, tem razão. Será que é melhor
The inn
voltar?
has long burned to the ground. We'd more easily pull a rainbow from the sky. You need to understand. Duke Ravengard is my father.
Por que não me disse?
Because our relation was no matter of pride. Not least for him. I was close to my father once, until he disowned me and cast me out of Baldur's Gate. Hells, he may have made me an exile, but my heart aches to think we abandoned him to the flames. No, this can't be his end. Father's vanquished dragon cultists and assassins alike with his own bastard sword. A Ravengard is not ruined by fire nor blood. A Ravengard survives.
Se seu pai ainda está vivo, vamos
Courage and
encontrá-lo.
confidence. You would have made a fine son to my father. Me? Well, I've never been able to escape my father's name, try as I might. When I look into a mirror, I see two faces. I see the Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And I see Will Ravengard, a memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
Como é ser filho do
So
Grão-Duque?
enchanting as you'd think. The Portiers, the Caldwells, they were the blue bloods hosting the fancy balls and drinking from gold goblets. Father's the son of a blacksmith, born with barely a coin in the coffers. He made a name for himself among the Flaming Fist. Brave as Baldur'S, stubborn as a deep Rothay. Daring, outspoken, but hardly posh. I spent more time dueling with father than I did rubbing elbows with lords. Not to say I didn't develop a taste for good wine and the talent for courtly dance.
E agora você é o Lâmina das Fronteiras, uma mudança em tanto.
Yes and no. Father taught me the four pillars of power. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. He reckoned I'd follow in his footsteps. First as a fist marshal, then as a duke. Vanquish evil, maintain order, save the world. But a duke makes bedfellows with more monsters than he slays. Father called it diplomacy. I called it hypocrisy. In the frontiers, there is no posturing, no diplomacy. I slay monsters. I don't consort with them. Well, not when I can avoid it.
Tá bom. Agora a gente salva e vamos enfrentar o Underdarker, né?
Can't slow down.
Pô, não tem armadura possíveis. Ai. Tá. Fecha.
What am I to do? This way.
Acabou meus dis... Tá.
I've got a long road ahead.
Speak quickly.
Não, não quero falar contigo.
If not over, then through.
Ah, mas não vai adiantar. Não, não vai adiantar não. Vai adiantar não. O bagulho vai estar ligado ali do mesmo jeito. Não adianta. Ah, adianta sim, eu desço por aqui, porra. Cara burro, né? Desce, desce aqui. Monte de troll petrificado. 14 de armor é foda.
Don't mind if I do.
Eu não tenho um negócio pra...
No traps, please.
Não.
Try.
Por que que o jogo salvou? Hello. Ah, corre.
Got to press on.
É... Calma. Carisma. Faz seus ataques causarem. Blá blá blá. Tá. De carisma. Morrer.
On my way.
Cara, o tanque do grupo tem que fugir, né?
You need patching up. Take you. Let my name be known.
Legal, não adianta.
Got this. Go on.
Vai, filho. Sobe aqui. Não deu certo.
To me. On the move. I will ascend. Taking position. My turn. Handy.
Boa.
Got it.
Vamos fazer ele subir.
Never a dull moment.
Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood.
que eu recebi envenenado, velho? A Disney? Tá bom.
All's well that ends. Oh,
Ou eu durmo? Ah, eu vou dormir logo. Ah, vou dormir logo. Que aí já fica de boa.
Hell's fire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Ora, que coisinha delícia você, hein? Que belo par de asas, vou tentar adivinhar. Patrona do Will.
Handler's the word, if it's all the same. My pup here's been unruly. And his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing. I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after. That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark. Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless. Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart.
Vá direto ao ponto. O que você
Point.
quer?
Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
Tiefling.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Deu ruim pro Will Turner, hein?
What's up for discussion?
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that.
Desafiar o patrono assim foi extremamente perigoso. Uma jogada corajosa ou muito
Wouldn't be
estúpida.
courage without the risk, would it? Figure out a way to make it up to him. What are heroes like? Swords? Shields, shiny things.
Beleza. Cadê o Will? Cara, ele fica muito escondido. Ah, Gale, você não tá pedindo mais coisa. Tá pedindo mais item, né?
God's damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Você teve sorte de não ter dela não ter arrancado sua
I
alma.
count my lucky stars for it, but I reckon luck is on holiday. I'm only alive because my patron still has use for me. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds, but I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
O pacto é motivo da ruptura entre você e
I
seu
can't
pai?
utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, unforbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
Ai.
Even in such fraught times as these, there's peace to be found in the stillness as evening draws in. I used to while away many hours just like these with my companion, though in far comfier surrounds. She preferred it when we were alone, curled up before a crackling hearth with some ancient, esoteric tome between us, ink glinting in the firelight. Not everyone is comfortable being alone with their thoughts. Though I never felt alone with a book in my hand, or with her for company. I speak of Tara, my Tressim, assistant, my constant companion through all the ills and tribulations my hubris has thrust upon me. She'd be proud to see me keeping such fine company. The savior of those poor tieflings, no less. I've given her precious little to be proud of recently. After I was afflicted with my condition, and locked myself in my tower for an entire year. I was inconsolable, wallowing in my self-inflicted tragedy. I'd given up on myself. But Tara knew. It was her encouragement, her research that led me to my treatment. Once we knew that magically infused items were the key, she went out to find them for me. She saved my life. She has a good heart. She'd recognize the same in your actions here. I'm sure she'd approve of me lending myself to your efforts.
Ela deve ser muito esperta pra...
Smart does her a disservice. She's a fine wizard in her own right, though somewhat held back by her lack of opposable thumbs. You remind me of her somewhat. There's a steeliness in you. An unwavering tenacity, even in the face of, to be frank, quite dire odds. Wish she were here for me to make a formal introduction. But I would never ask her to undertake such a journey. She's safer at home. Besides, she was always telling me I needed to spread my wings, so to speak. Find mortal friends instead of hanging onto Mistra's coattails. So that's what I'm doing. I hope.
Você não tem amigo?
Sadly not. If I'm being entirely honest, my social circle is rather small. More of a dot. Or a pinhead. I've got acquaintances, certainly. Plenty of colleagues. Friends? Those are precious indeed. So I hope, though we've only known each other for a short time, I might be able to count you among that number.
Depende, o que você gosta de mim?
Were I to recite that list, I fear we'd be here at dusk tomorrow. Many things, I assure you. But a conversation better saved for another time. With my condition as volatile as it is, I fear any undue excitement may tip it over the edge. So to
É
speak.
isso.
Go, enjoy your evening. Nothing better for the heart than a good night's rest. Mine is gladdened to know I'll have the pleasure of your company again come morning.
Alce. Cadê a...
That contraption's a hot ticket item. Might not be our last scrap for its sake.
Oops. What does the inferno
Gives me energy.
into?
Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
Como foi?
Agonizing. Gods, what I wouldn't give for a hug. A pat. Anything. You've never met anyone so desperate for a hug as this one right here. Pathetic perhaps, but true. It's my lot to bear, and I bear it badly. Oh well. Can't have it all, can you? Not today, at least. Why are we slowing down?
Queria saber como. How did you end up with such a contrapoint in the
The
test?
year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlak, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
Você mencionou uma chefia que te deu Azariel, quem?
Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again.
Parece que você e Misora se conhecem.
We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted.
Acho que ela vai continuar
I
atrás de
don't
você.
know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride.
Entendi porque fazia tanta questão de fugir.
No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
De assunto. Não achei que fosse acabar aqui. Viu?
Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
Estaria vivendo outra aventura. E larvas.
I can picture you getting mixed up in some outrageous shit. Giants, beholders, Thayans, the works. Maybe once we've wrapped up the current shenanigans, we'll rest a bit and find some new heap of trouble to throw ourselves at.
Hey,
Salvar. Vamos abrir aquele baú?
hey, good looking.
Wits and blades always sharp. I must keep going. A lock? How tempting.
Nossa, é 20, mano? Não é nada, velho. Drone. Já sei.
No one stopped me yet. Seems like a good moment to talk.
What's the story? Oh, come on. You don't mean that.
Tô sim.
Oh, fine. I'll be here eating dirt or whatever.
Beleza. Tá comendo terra. Pegar aqui o... Cadê o
With haste.
bicho lá? Peguei.
Githyanki patrolling these wilds is an unexpected surprise. Whatever they seek, they'll not hesitate to kill us if we stand in their way.
Comigo.
With pleasure. Lead on.
Realização em ação. Transmutação. Cara, ação. Necromancia. Uma vez por turno, se você matar uma criatura com uma magia, você recupera pontos de vida. Curação. Curar água. Evocação. Suas magias de evocação. Ah, criaturas aliadas não sofrem dano. Magia residual dos seus feitiços forma uma proteção ao seu redor que protege você contra danos. Encantamento. Olhar hipnótico. Adivinhação. Após cada descanso longo, você ganha 2 dados de presságio. Ilusão. Ilusão menor aprimorada. Pode conjurar ilusão menor como ação bônus. Transmutação. Pode preparar 2 soluções alquímicas em vez de uma ao combinar extratos e passar no teste de medicina. Cara, sei lá, mano. Evocação aí, só pra eu pegar O bagulho que eu quero. É... Arrombar. Funde uma arma com magia. Ah, no Texas é bom. Aí guardei. Jogador ritualista. Tem de duas coisas de ritual, não. Chá de feitiçaria. Ah, não quero. Uma criatura conjura uma magia no alcance com a corpo. Ah, não. Vou pegar adepto elemental. Fogo. Isso porque eu tô fazendo isso só pra pegar uma magia, tá? Contra a magia, com morte, não. Bola de fogo, né? É bola de fogo, né? É. Cara, é bola de fogo, velho. Tem. Tem que fazer não, bola de fogo. Beleza, meu querido Gale.
Might as well. Immediately.
Bora abrir essa bagaça. Salvo.
Easy does it, soldier.
At least things have stayed interesting. Breathe
Abriu.
deep and move.
Lembrando que qualquer coisa eu vou dar load, tá? Frasco de ferro. Frasco que pode conter amigos e provável que transforme os amigos em orelha de hiena. Cara, assim, bosta, né?
Always a delight to speak with you. What can I do?
Isso fica no
I
acampamento.
question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime. idling away the hours.
Carla aqui.
Hey,
Fuck yes.
Cara, vamos aproveitar e ler o tomo antigo?
You've seen much of the book, but its most powerful secrets are guarded by indecipherable glyphs. Without a key, they may be locked away forever.
Ah! Jogo. A página Ghost Stark está indecifrável.
Let's see what this
Cama
does.
então.
You recognize the feathered creature. It's the owlbear cub you rescued.
Caramba, ela só veio agora. Ai, eu não falo mais com ela. Quer pedaço de comida na sua bolsa.
The cub's eyes lock onto the food in your hand.
Segurar a comida na minha frente.
Careful. Once that thing's eaten through the camp, it might start looking at you hungrily.
Isso!
I'm not chasing after it, if that's what you're thinking.
Vai voltar, né? Nossa, se não voltar, eu dou load. Eu dou load.
Always room for more.
Ah, mano. salva. Vou fazer diferente, vou jogar comida pra ela. Olha o que tem aqui. Ah, mano, tinha que ter falar com animais, velho.
You recognize the feathered creature. The creature gulps the food down. It seems he hasn't eaten in some time.
Careful. Once that thing's eaten through the camp, it might start looking at you
Cara.
hungrily. I'm not chasing after it, if that's what you're thinking.
Às vezes ela volta, vai, deixa assim.